may have been popular back in the 90s, but it's not 1993 anymore and 1994, and shows like Fresh Prince from Bel-Air are so yesterday. And in my opinion, family can't do that, nor can they thrive off reruns of shows like Wizards and Hannah Montana, which is not really going to cut the mustard, the proverbial mustard, for family right now, especially with how Disney are trying to speak to this new generation of fans who are becoming fans of Disney more and more all the time. And it goes back to how Girl Meets World, Liv and Maddie, Dog with a Blog, and I Didn't Do It are really at the forefront of Disney Channel. And if it's not that, it's the Disney Channel original movies like Descendants and Invisible Girl, which premieres this Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, starring the star of Girl Meets World, Roland Blanchard, in a role we've never seen her in before. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun for people who check her out for the first time ever in that Disney Channel original movie. As well, you're going to get a repeat airing in there also of Descendants, with Mal being played by Dove Cameron, who has been receiving a lot of attention from the media because of her role as the daughter of Maleficent and working with the talent she did on set for Disney's Descendants. And the merchandise also for that one has been blown completely out of proportion. The dolls for Descendants definitely getting a lot of attention, and Disney Channel and Family, both of them, have gotten behind the promotional campaign for this one, and deservingly so, for the talent and just how creative this movie is, focusing on the sons and daughters of Disney villains who are out for revenge against Disney heroes like King Ben, the son of King Beast, and Queen Belle from Beauty and the Beast back in 1991, 1992, and the love relationship that develops halfway through the movie between the daughter of Maleficent and the son of King Beast and Queen Belle, which is examined thoroughly in this movie. It's great. It's a great time to be a fan of Disney Channel, and I think that more people have something more positive to talk about when you're talking about Disney Channel and bringing it up throughout conversation. I know it's really become the attention of the social media networks like Facebook and Twitter. Millions of people are sending out tweets about Disney Channel. I know that Disney Channel just celebrated the series finale of Jessie a couple of weeks ago. I know Debbie Ryan sent out a tweet on her official Twitter at Debbie Ryan, thanking Disney for all the moments and the memories that they gave her throughout her career and her time spent with Disney on shows like Sweet Life on Deck. She was the replacement, of course, of Ashley Tisdale. Of course, she had a relationship with Cody examined on that show for a number of years. She told Disney she wasn't over it. They gave her a chance to be in the lead role as the actress of Jessie, playing the role of Jessie the nanny to several individuals on that show, like Peyton List's character Emma on the show, who eventually landed her own role as the star of Disney's Bunked, which is a show beyond me why they didn't put on Disney XD as well. Dog with a Blog probably fits into the category of being a Disney XD exclusive, but it's beyond me why they didn't do anything with that. And now Jessie, of course, finishing up with Debbie Ryan being very emotional about that. I can understand why, and I think that nobody's going to forget someone like Debbie Ryan in the role of Jessie anytime soon. We're seeing her on and off again for projects involving R.L. Stine for The Haunting Hour, and we've seen her in Disney Channel original movies like Radio Rebel from back in 2012. So she definitely had a huge reputation for herself, given to herself because of what Disney did for her, and she sent out a tweet thanking everybody following the airing of the final episode of Jessie. The series is now finished up. Where we will see Debbie Ryan again, I really don't know, but I think that definitely promising times are ahead for her, although time will allow to find out where we go from here with Debbie Ryan. I think that she definitely paved the way for some of the up-and-coming stars of Disney. If there ever was a breakout star on Disney right now, I think that Sabrina Carpenter's in a position to really take over for what she's doing for Girl Meets World, as is Roland Blanchard. And I think that someone like Dove Cameron, for her ability to play two characters at once on the set of Liv and Maddie, is definitely also in a position to take over, if not one of these three haven't already taken over with Disney, provided the opportunity hasn't arisen. I think that with the exit of Debbie Ryan now as the lead role on Jessie has come to be, I think there's never been a more opportunistic time for people like Roland Blanchard, Sabrina Carpenter, and Dove Cameron to take over, and I think that they will take advantage of this opportunity, and they'll probably put their talents on the fullest display, and we'll get the fullest potential out of them very soon. Really big fan of people like Roland Blanchard, Sabrina Carpenter, and Dove Cameron, as I am of Olivia Holt, who I still am expecting big things from. I am sort of guilty for not talking about someone like a Sabrina Carpenter or Roland Blanchard as much as what I probably should have been devoting time to talking about them. And I'm going to make up for some time lost on this network by talking about Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard more often for their roles on Girl Meets World and their futures that I foresee for them from Disney coming up over the next couple of months. Early in 2016, you can expect more video blogs to drop focusing on people like Sabrina Carpenter and Roland Blanchard, so keep listening for that. As well, Piper Curda and Olivia Holt are people that I'm going to be giving attention to on this network as well, with my apologies going up for not talking about them as much as what I have of Dove Cameron, because you've seen a fair share of video blogs on Dove Cameron, but you have yet to see a fair share of video blogs on people like Olivia Holt, and Sabrina Carpenter. I know a lot of people have been getting on me for not talking about Sabrina Carpenter probably as much as what I should have been on this show, for being both a talented actress and singer. And that's the thing about Disney. Both talented actresses and singers are brought to the forefront for the focal point of these Disney Channel original shows, and that's why they're producing the ratings, which is why I don't think that a network like Family, no matter how many times they focus on the X Factor UK or shows like The Next Step, are going to be able to become direct competitors with Disney. It's ludicrous for a network like Family Channel to even try to compete with Disney, given the reputation as it is Nickelodeon. No matter how many shows they bring back from the 90s, calling it the Splat, airing it day in and day out, they're not going to be able to do it. Nickelodeon really needs to consider, reevaluating themselves, either that or closing up shop and going home, because I don't think Schneider's Bakery and Nickelodeon, no matter how much of a business relationship they've had for years, letting Dan Schneider take full control of shows like iCarly and Victorious, I really don't think, with how Victorious and iCarly were Nick's cash cows, they're going to be able to compete with Disney right now with how creative Disney is. There was a time when Disney was going through a dry period, and they really picked up and made up for lost time by putting out shows like Liv and Maddie and shows like Dog with a Blog. That was when Disney really wasn't putting out. And in the novelty of shows like Dog with a Blog, they weren't even putting out then, but they really turned a corner. And it seems to me, ever since Disney turned a corner, they have become far more creative than what they were 3 or 4 years ago. And that goes back to how they didn't have anything to fall back on when a show like Hannah Montana or Wizards folded up. Well, the only thing they had to fall back on was Shake It Up. And because that was the only show they had to fall back on, they definitely suffered in the time they needed something to thrive off of when shows like Hannah Montana and Wizards were no longer around. Now that they have more to fall back on, I think Disney has regained its confidence, and after having turned a corner, I don't think they're more in a jeopardizable position than what they were probably 3 or 4 years ago. And as I've said many times before, what a difference 10 years makes. 10 years ago, we only had Wizards and Hannah Montana to fall back on. Now we have more than that. We have Liv and Maddie, Dog with a Blog, I Didn't Do It, Jessie, Bunked. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Even though Jessie is no longer around, the reruns of Jessie are still going to keep people coming in and tuning into Disney to check out the reruns of the show they may have missed or they just want to see again. I mean, you can never get enough of an old show like Jessie or Wizards, but the thing is now Disney has more to fall back on and thrive off of, and thriving is one thing they are looking to do coming up in the next 6 to 8 months. The next year for Disney is going to be really interesting because we're wondering now what Disney Channel original shows we're going to see premiere as part of the already exuberant lineup in 2016, and we're wondering what kind of Disney Channel movies are going to be coming out in 2016. Like, for instance, how they're going to be able to follow Descendants. That is in question. I think they're going to be able to do it, and I think the best way to do it would be to come out with a sequel to Descendants, either by calling it something different or just by simply calling it Descendants 2. I think there's room for a Descendants 2, a Descendants sequel, and we probably will see that through 2016, 2017, and I'm excited for it, as I am all the Disney Channel original movies that we could possibly be seeing throughout 2016. I really wish also, too, Disney Channel would have arrived sooner in Canada around the time that people like Bridget Mendler and Selena Gomez were as big as what they were. We've arrived in a time, Disney has arrived in a time where Bridget Mendler and Selena Gomez are no longer Disney Channel stars. They're referred to as former Disney Channel original stars, but who knows, we may see them again. I know that Selena Gomez returned as the executive producer of Wizards Return back in 2013, and that was a great movie that got Family Channel and Disney Channel a lot of great reviews, and we could see them again, but because we probably will not see them again for a long period of time, we have to rely on these stars like Dove Cameron and Olivia Holt to keep coming through for us, and I think they're going to be able to do it with how they're promoting Disney Channel Canada, saying it's finally arrived here in Canada. They're doing endless amounts of media reviews and interviews, especially Dove Cameron, who was always appearing on daytime talk shows. I know she was promoting Disney's Descendants, so they are really showing a lot of dedication to what they're doing for Disney, and that's why I think we can pretty much secure a surefire future, if you would, for someone like a Dove Cameron, who I'm really expecting big things from, as I am all the stars of all the Disney Channel original shows right now. This is something you definitely should take full advantage of, especially with the revamping and relaunching coming up Disney XD and Disney Junior, which I'm expecting big things from, with new animated series focusing on The Lion King and Star Wars for Disney XD and Disney Junior. It's going to be a whole lot of fun with Disney now having purchased the licenses of Marvel and Star Wars characters, and I'm looking forward to finding out what they're going to be doing with live actions. Of course, The Force Awakens is coming out on December 18th, and Star Wars Episode 8, which is going to be a big one for them coming up over the next couple of years. Really excited about that one, and I'm I'm also really excited about seeing what they're going to be doing on the animated side of things, with LEGO Star Wars already premiering and the debut recently of Star Wars Rebels, featuring all your favorite Star Wars characters like Yoda, Luke Skywalker, and Darth Vader. And Disney is not shying away from bringing back things that made Star Wars a success back when it first premiered as a blockbuster theatrical release. And now we're seeing Star Wars coming back stronger than they ever have before, which is why I give Disney and Disney XD a tremendous amount of credit for doing what they have with the Star Wars series, which is something I didn't expect for them to do. If anything, to be honest with you, I thought they were going to fool it up and they were going to screw everything up about Star Wars, but they have definitely come through on both the animated and live-action side of the Star Wars series, which is the same thing I'm expecting from Marvel. They've launched a video game for Disney Infinity 2.0 and Disney Infinity 3.0 focusing on Marvel and Star Wars characters, tying in all aspects of Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel, all three avenues being explored in Disney Infinities 2.0 and 3.0, and I'm really expecting big things from Disney and Marvel coming up in the near future, either with live action or animation from Disney Channel, Disney XD, or something else down the road. I'm really looking forward to something from that. So they definitely do have a promising future that you should take advantage of, especially with the relaunching of Disney XD and Disney Junior coming up as of December 1st. Find your channel number for Disney Channel and, of course, go to Disney.com to check all this out. Really big fan of shows like Liv and Maddie and Girl Meets World. Those are two or probably 3 or 4 shows that I can throw at you to highly recommend. And I would recommend that you focus on the careers of people like Sabrina Carpenter, Roland Blanchard, Dove Cameron, Olivia Holt, Peyton List. So many great stars that you should take time to take notice of. And if you have any comments or a file on anything I've said about the premiere of Disney Channel as of September 1st here in Canada, you can always leave it for me in the comments at Jonathan Clarke 1 or Jonathan Clarke 22 on YouTube, Jonathan Clarke 1 on Twitter, and on Facebook at HEW Entertainment. I really appreciate your opinion, and if you have anything you'd like to say in coalition with what I've had to say on my review of Disney Channel Canada, which premiered again as of September 1st,